And we should be live. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Active Reload again. Tonight it's just myself, Immortal Spawn, and Arctic. Fatal
Jordan's here
Strike.
too.
Oh, Jordan. Fatal Strike couldn't join us tonight. He's working on the wish list, trying to get his portion done and all the stuff he got in, and couldn't really find anybody else to hop in. I mean, I put it out there, but there wasn't a lot of people. But we will be bringing people in the show throughout. So if you do want to be on, you think you deserve to be on, have something to say, add me on Skype. My Skype is CrReam. Not hard to find me, and I'll add you and see if we can bring you in later on the show. But tonight we're going to be starting it off with the GOWJ Judgment sales numbers being released, and they were pretty much a quarter of what Gears 3 was, so not good. It was pretty much what I expected, though. I figured it was around that number, but it's hard to tell how long the game will last with that little amount of titles sold. But I don't know, I guess, we'll see. I don't know, would you want to touch base on that, Rob, or...
Yeah, well, what's that compared to like the amount of money they put in? So maybe it wasn't treated as we need to invest as much as we did into a previous Gears title in this. So the profit margin may have been good for them. I'm sure they would have liked more sales, but it still could have been an accomplishment in a sense. I mean, from our standpoint, it's not an accomplishment for me. I want more than 1,000 people playing playlists at a time, but just trying to think from where they're at.
Yep.
I'm pretty much on the same boat as Rob on this one. Like we kind of speculated early on what was the marketing effort like. How much money did they actually invest in pumping out Judgment? It definitely wasn't. I mean, I think we can all agree that the marketing promotion was nowhere near the same as Gears of War 3, which seemed like that was just getting blasted everywhere. I don't feel like that was pumped as hard. They did do that last 3-week crunch or whatever, but before that it was hard to find news on Gears of War Judgment. And just the sequence of how they kind of released news, it was, if you think back to, I think maybe around this time last year, or maybe it might have been May, we got the announcement that Gears of War Judgment was going to come out. It's like, oh, they're working on a new Gears, and I think people were kind of excited. I think there's a couple people like, what? I mean, we still got Gears of War 3 here. Why are you working on a new Gears? And then they had the whole overrun thing. So I think expectations were kind of high initially, and then they just had that string of turning off veteran Gears players. No DBNO, no Locust. I'm trying to think of, there was another one that was pretty big. I mean, if you consider the falling off the ledges things, people kind of knew about that, but that was a change. And then you had the loadout change, which I think is pretty significant. So, I mean, from my standpoint, when I started releasing videos about Gears of War Judgment up to pretty much the launch of the game, there was a lot of diehard people I'm not getting this game. I'm going to play Gears of War 3. Or, they shifted away from the game and this doesn't feel like Gears to me. So, you kind of hear those people, and I think this is what Colin and I were talking about. It's kind of like a word of mouth thing. Someone doesn't like the game. They asked everybody, hey, what do you think about this Gears game? The dude's like, well, this game is shit. And I think that's a bad way to put it, but it's that's what people say. And I don't really think it's judged based off of gameplay more so than, well, how is it compared to all the other Gears games? So I don't know. I think it's kind of expected. I think that at this point, you look at the sales numbers, I think it was 426,000 units moved from whatever the time was the game came out till now, which is not even a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the same time frame for Gears of War 3, they shipped 2 million units. Then if you just look at the playlist, I mean, you can just tell. And there's obviously been several videos from people that play Gears of War that were prominent figureheads in Gears of War on the YouTube community, I don't feel like playing this. And I think we were going to touch on it tonight. Like Butter was one of those guys. And then I even think Gold Glove had a video saying that multiplayer was broken, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure he released a video like March 26th or something like that, 27th, like a week after the game came out, and said multiplayer is broken. So I don't know. I mean, when you have those people kind of saying those things, and I mean, Like Brothers was basically, is Gears of War Judgment dead? And he said yes. It's really hard for people to rally behind that, especially those people that follow those guys specifically, because they're pretty big in the Gears of War community. So I can't say it's not expected. Obviously, a lot has changed, but I don't know. I think we talk about it for a little bit at least.
Yeah, Barbosa, I see you saying in the chat it's not dead. We didn't even start, and that's the point. We didn't even start, and the numbers are already so low. So that's the thing kind of worrying me right now. And I didn't want that because, just last week I'm speaking about how we should have faith and hope because they're working with us, but it's kind of like, a week later, it's like, wow, is it too little too late? Was it just right. Too late for us to really make the game what we want and make that push? I don't know because, I mean, it already dropped out of the top 10.
Something's got to happen very soon. I know, we've been hearing patches coming soon. Mm-hmm. Jim's been mentioning that. I mean, if it doesn't happen within the next week, people are going to be returning their games, and that's going to be that. So something has to happen drastically soon. Obviously, there's a ton, of work being done from community members. There's multiple projects, multiple tournaments, multiple sites going up right now, which is amazing. But again, if the game's not, the game's not at that competitive level that we need it to be, it's not going to be fun for anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want Fatal's not on tonight because he's working on, the master wish list, pretty much everybody's thoughts and, what should be changed in Judgment, how to make it better. And, once this wish list goes in, how long it takes to actually implement all these ideas. I hope it's not too late. I really do. I hope it's not too late. I hope we don't finally get everything we want and then the players aren't there because they left already. That's going to suck if that happens.
It's really hard to reacquire users. I mean, this is just common knowledge, I think, across business. It's really hard to reacquire customers or users after they're like, I'm done. Because they move on to, new games. Obviously, it's really hard in the gaming industry because it's like, well, I got 6 other games I can play. And then there's a new game almost every single week. So it's like, people get hooked on stuff and like forget about other games. The other thing you have is like people going back to Gears 3. And, Kenny and and I think Rob, I don't know if you were sitting there or either of you two were there. I might have been talking to myself when I was saying this, but I found it funny that, Gears of War Judgment comes out, and I swear to God, it seemed like people just despised Gears of War 3. Like, it was just the shittiest game ever to come out. And all of a sudden, they see Gears of War Judgment come out, and you hear people like, man, Gears of War 3 was really good. Like, yeah. It was so polished. Like, they spent all this time making this fantastic game. Gears of War 1 is just a little bit better, but Gears of War 3 is a damn good game. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys were the same people shitting on the game. Now you're like, Gears of War 3 is the shit? It's like, what? Where'd that come from?
I heard the same comment on Gears 2. There was a video this week, Gal Clip of the Day, I think is the name of a YouTube series, and it was like a Gears 2 clip. And, some of the comments were like, post more Gears 2, no more Judgment sort of thing. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's real. It's happening. We can't ignore it.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting. Obviously, one of the things that Epic did off the bat, I mean, there's so many issues that we've already talked about that have kind of led to this point. But obviously, 4 maps and just the content in general. Launching the game with 4 maps and trying to rectify that in a matter of, a month with 1 new map is just, I mean, people get bored of that really quickly, especially if we're talking traditional multiplayer. People get bored of that. Like, there's 20-some maps to play on Gears 3. Why not go back to Gears 3? You know what I mean? So, I mean, obviously that from a just game dev perspective is just odd that they released 4 and just didn't put in a lot of work on finishing the rest of those maps. And then on top of the 4, and I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, it's like, of those 4 maps that initially launched, I only really felt like playing 1, and that was Streets. And the other 2 was Library and Gondola were like, okay, and I couldn't stand Rig. So I don't know. It's just compounded things, and then you have the whole melee thing. Like no one wants to deal with the melee because in Gears 3 it was like people didn't have to deal with it, and if you get those guys converting, they're like, I don't want to play this. Let me go back to Gears 3. It's just so many things where it's like,
Yeah.
I don't like this. I'm going to go back to Gears 3 that Epic got right the first time and then come back around and it's like they completely forgot what they did on the previous 3 games to get to this point. So
That goes back to the motive of this title, right? The motive was, let's introduce free for all. Let's do this. The melee is balanced for free for all, but that's not what the majority of players, the majority of Gears players and the community that already existed were expecting and wanted. I mean, we want to be playing this game like we've already been taught, and now we're saying, well, no, this is a free for all game now, and the melee is this strong because you can't win a free for all with a Marksca if the melee is not this strong.
Right.
So there's a reason for it. It wasn't like an ill-advised decision, but the problem is that's not how I believe the majority of the community want to be playing the game right now. So the numbers are low.
Yeah, the numbers are low. It's scary. We've never had this problem. I mean, we're used to Gears always being up there around the top 5 for a while, at least. And always having tons of people on. And Judgment, when it first came out, I was like, all right, numbers aren't bad. But this is about a month later, it's like, wow, they have dropped off.
I think 9 months out of Gears of War 3, I released a video because people were saying the same thing about Gears of War 3. It was 9 months out now that Gears of War 3 was dead. Again, just going back to how people were just absolutely shitting on Gears of War 3.
Yep.
And I consider that to be probably the best Gears title in terms of polish. Obviously, it had a couple things that we didn't like, but I felt like from a standpoint of longevity, Gears 3 should have been the game everybody just stuck with. And you see all these people get a new Gears game, and now they're like, well, Gears of War 3 is the shit. So I just find that very funny and ironic. Is pretty interesting. But here we are. Gears of War Judgment. Yeah. Was it top 12? 12th?
12th. Gears of War 3 dropped to 18th. Yeah, top 12 behind like 2 Halos and 3 Call of Duties, like we said right before we started the show. Yeah. It's just it's scary, because we have so many plans right now and so much we want to do. And the first time ever, we got all this talk with the developer, and it's
all
just
the things aligning.
Like everything's lining up, but it's like it's too late, and it just sucks. I don't want it to be too late. I'm hoping that these changes come through and brings people back, but it's hard to bring people back, like unless Epic really comes out and says, we're sorry. Here's all these changes. We hope you like it. I don't know.
Yeah. So here's a couple things. I'm gonna start. I watched Like Butter's video. I watched half of Gold Glove's video. His is a little bit older. Like Butter's is fresh in my mind, and he had a couple points that he made in there that were really good. A couple of them I didn't really agree with. So I'll start with the ones I didn't agree with. First off, he said that Epic made a lot of changes, and one of the changes that he disliked because it was a good mechanic was active reload damage boost. And so, me, I'm all about consistency, and the things that led to a lot of weapon inconsistency in Gears of War was the active reload damage boost. And so from my perspective, from a balance perspective, I didn't agree with that change, and I agree with the change in Gears Judgment, but I didn't agree with what Like Butter said about that being something that should have been changed. It was just, I don't understand how you could ever think that getting 2-shot across the map with a Gnasher is a balanced play, or not being able to move at all because if you go out and you get hit by an active Lancer, you're going to go down in 0.2 seconds or something like that. That doesn't make sense to me. And then another time you go down and you can wall bounce all around because the dude doesn't have actives. Like that makes the game really inconsistent in terms of gameplay. And you guys know how it ends up playing out in a really high level play. It's like every 5 seconds somebody has a goddamn active and you can't move.
Yep.
So the whole active damage boost, like, nah, don't like that at all. The other thing he kind of said that, and I credit this to like players not understanding game dev, is that Gears of War Judgment needed a beta and that Epic is wrong for asking for changes after the game comes out. That's a mindset that I feel like only fills a console market, because if you look at a PC game, they're continuously good ones, good developers, are continuously updating their games and continuously asking the community for feedback. So the fact that Epic put out a game and then now they're asking for feedback, there's nothing wrong with that. So those are the two major points that I think that he made that sound a little off, like he doesn't quite know what he's talking about with those specific things. The rest of them, I could kind of agree with. You know, he talked about the drastic change, like DB&O, the loadout system, I think, is the major one here, and being able to free fall off of different places. Obviously, that changes, and we talked about this multiple times. That changes how the maps are played, because think of a game like Execution, you can't trap anyone, you can't corner anyone very easily. So I think those three things are probably the biggest. And then there's minor things that kind of led up to, I think, what they've done. Obviously, buffing the rifles, not telling anyone, then people getting pissed off, and then they're like, you know what, I'm done with this. Epic is just like, they changed the game around, they buffed the rifles, that doesn't make sense. No one asked for that. They asked for two things. They asked for stim, they asked for melee, and now they buffed the rifles. What? And then the content. Like, you know, he mentioned the content, and that is the major one for me right now. It's just like, I just unbelievable that 4 maps is out, or 5 now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and the thing is, like, it's not just 5 maps. It's really like 2 maps we can use, and the 3 are just there, and one of them is just god awful. So you got 2 maps we can realistically use competitively, 2 maps that are all right, but only work if you force them, and then you just get tired of it. I mean, like, I know you look at games like League and all that, they have the one map to play on it all the time, but the game is so damn good it doesn't matter what the map is. You know, that has nothing to do with it. They don't need different maps and everything. It's a whole different game, and it works fine like that. But for, like, shooters, you really need variety, I think. You need some variety in maps. And especially Gears and all that. Like, like every shooter, like Halo, COD, and Gears, we're all used to having different maps in competitive play in our settings. And
you know what I liked this past weekend was AGL. Any Halo fans out there? They did a veto system similar to what League does. So you get to veto a map that your opponent like can't play on. I thought that was kind of cool to bring that in.
Just gonna throw this out that eBash was doing that too, way before.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I never did that in Gears, so it's definitely cool to bring it into the shooting realm.
They were doing that for their Gears of War tournaments.
Pays to do your research and pay attention to scrims and things like that. The little extra homework to bring to tournaments. I thought that was nice.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just adding Crash in now. He said he has some things he wants to say, so we'll see.
Cool.
Yo, what up?
What's up, Crashy? So what you got to say, buddy?
I mean, my thing really is right now the game, the way it is, like, actually isn't that bad. Like, just the way we've got it going on now, with all the changes we had, it's really not that bad. And I know some things are kind of messed up, like the melee, and a little bit of the Lancer's not always the greatest. But if we just had that ranked or that matchmaking that we really want, I think we'd be so much better off. Like, I know we've all heard before, like true skill, things like that. If we could just get that, it would bring so much more incentive to play and bring so much people back into the game. And I mean, for me personally, I love the gameplay. And yeah, I'm a little iffy about a few things, but I can't even play it right now. Like, I have nothing to play for.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get in it and I can completely dominate a game of ranked. But at the end of the day, what does that get me?
Yeah.
You can hope to get a Reaper.
Yeah, I already got it.
I mean, yeah, even talking about Reapers, that kind of turned into not really being as hard as I'd hoped. People are just kind of going out and handing out Reaper medals. Like, hey, just join and kill me. Here's a medal.
In order to get the actual skin and character, it's sort of a rental, sort of Epic kind of. You can play with this for a week. So it's really just the medal, right? Is that correct? Yeah. I actually haven't encountered one yet.
You get the medal,
and a skin.
the Onyx medal, and then a skin. Yeah, and I mean, it's it was pretty cool, and I'm actually glad that they gave the community something. But
no, it's,
I don't know.
It's cool publicity. I like it. I
mean, when it comes to talking about the matchmaking and all that, I mean, that's like beating a dead horse. Almost every week I've brought up matchmaking and how it needs to change. There's no difference. Quick and ranked is the same thing, And Arctyc, he can go off on this too. It just drives me insane, the matchmaking. I gotta stop before I get into it again, because I will go on a rant.
So much. We've seen so many Gears games come out that have this you know, where you can finally party up. Because I remember searching in, you know, Gears 1, you're like, okay, what, we're 5 of 5, how much time limit are you on? Oh, okay, you see that canals that has 6 or 7 people in it right now, you know, whatever the case is. And now we finally get this, like, you can party up, but we're not even playing, we're not playing for anything. And it's just that, it's going to kill us over and over and over again to see it. You know, we have nothing to play for. And I'm being serious. I know it's kind of cheesy, but man, if I could be a platinum Gears of War player in ranked, that would be so sick. I would play hours and hours and hours of ranked.
Yeah.
To be a platinum cog or something like that.
Yeah, they kind of tried that in Gears 2, but it failed miserably. I remember for a fact,
God,
myself,
like
I was the rank 4 right before it was wings, right? The 5th was the wings. But I was rank 4, and I played, I think my win-loss was something ridiculous. I had lost, like, maybe 6, 7 matches in over 100 and something, you know? And I played one match with I think it was cranking them when they were just getting on Gears 2 again, and we lost. It dropped me down to rank 3, and I never lost again after that for a long time, and I did not go up. It was just stuck.
Wow.
Forever stuck at rank 3. You know, they tried, but it failed horribly. I'm not even sure that was like a real try at like that ranked matchmaking, but it was kind of like they were looking into it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a competitive playlist would be nice and fun, and if we had the people, it would, you know, it'd be great. I mean, it's one reason I continue to go back and mess around on StarCraft. You know, just the skill gap is definitely there on a game like that, but I definitely don't think it's number 1. I still think number 1 is maps over everything, but it would be awesome.
I think content is number 1, and again, I don't want to go on a matchmaking rant, but matchmaking is probably something that contributes to the play experience and how terrible it is sometimes. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Damn it, fucking matchmaking.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, even balance-wise, I don't feel like we're too far off from where we should be. And that's like even Fatal Strike keeps saying that, like one good update and we could be where we need to be, but it's all about the timing. Like, we're so far into the game now, and so many people have played the game and already decided they don't like it or they do like it, that it's really hurting us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much hit on that. Like, week 1, I completely agree with you in terms of gameplay. Like, this game out of box was, gameplay-wise, was really close.
It looks so good.
Really, really close to them nailing it. And, you know, again, people just asked for 2 things to get changed. 2 things, explicitly, 2 things: stem and melee, and they did not. They did not change those. So
well, it kind of like, you know, I was talking about it with Fatal earlier, and I'm not trying to come at the guys at Epic at all, but, you know, I know they're asking for the master wish list right now from us. You know, they want the master wish list, all our thoughts and opinions, every little thing that could possibly be fixed or changed. You know, they want everything. But there's 2 things that they already know for a fact are going to be on that list and at the top. So why are we still waiting for those things to be changed? Which is the melee and the stim. You know, those are things that nobody likes. We like the idea of the stim, but it's not done right. And the melee, not a single person I know was happy about that coming back like that. And then the funny thing was,
you approach the melee fix. Like, again, as I said earlier, like, if this game is a free-for-all game, and that was what it's intended to be, changing the melee, like, universally is going to break that. So, you know, what do? Do you go back to Lancer and Asher start? Like, we have to go back to that. There's just so many ways to look at it, and it's really I find it difficult to even think about as to, you know, what's the best way to resolve this, because, you know, you fix it one way and then you kind of break the game in other ways, just based on.
I thought about it 2 different ways in my head, and my thing is, like, I see 2 kind of options. Now they're kind of like widespread. You can change it around a little bit, but like, I see 2 ways you could fix the melee. With the current melee right now, I feel like if we had Lancer and Asher, it wouldn't be that bad, because getting into that melee range, you would already have so much to deal with. Or I see the more extreme version, where if they're really set on having this one starting weapon setup or loadout, which I'm not actually, I'm not bashing it. I like it a lot. It doesn't bother me. I love to start off some games with a Lancer and run around for the whole game with a Lancer. I love to start some games with a shotgun and just feel like I have that kind of Slayer role to me. But it's just the melee cannot do 50% of your health. It's just that's unrealistic.
So much.
I've even gone as far to say, like, I would rather see the melee do 0 damage and only have that slight stun. And I mean so slight that you still can't even 2-piece. Because it's too much.
Right.
Like I don't want to have to deal with it. Now I mean Lancer players have an advantage, shotgun players have an advantage. It's just
I want to clarify Lancer and Asher because I throw it around, not thinking sometimes. It's really like rifle shotgun start. So I mean, if you wanted to be, you know, marksman and sawed off, like, you know, that's an option too. But let's just put all the like in Gears 3, let's put all those rifles in one slot and the shotguns in another.
Yep.
Yeah, I really don't have a problem with going back. It's not that I dislike this system. It's just like
Same.
sometimes when I get into a certain situation and like I have someone hurt and they get inside of a close range, like I just want to switch from my rifle and pick the correct weapon that I need for that situation instead of having to continue to back pedal or to throw down a grenade to stop them or something like that. And the issue I have with the nade toss, because that's been my go-to, like if someone breaks my plane of where I feel comfortable with my rifle, I'll throw down an ink or frag or whatever, and that usually stops them. But the issue is I end up doing that so frequent that I run out of nades, and so like on my third encounter with someone doing that, it's like I don't have any way to stop that other than just running away. So I
kind of wanted to touch base on that too tonight because, you know, recently on Twitter, just random talks with people, and then Jim Brown had just hopped in with the conversation. We were talking about bringing back the rifle shotgun start possibility, and he said that's not out of the question at all, and in fact, we should be able to try it out soon. But he had also said that there's going to be just a testing-specific playlist being added to the game so that we can actually then test out all of these things, make sure they're working, and then implement them into a title update and throughout the whole game. So these are things that, like, I mean, they have me happy, but I'm just, you know, I'm hoping it's not too late for that to be happening.
Right.
Because I want people to see that and be like, oh shit, you know, maybe I should come back. They're making the fixes. You know, I want that to happen.
If they add that to the playlist, the numbers will shoot up in that test playlist if they add that.
Yep.
The issue with the test playlist is that, if you guys remember, Quinn did the same things. We had no stopping power playlist. What was that called? Zeta.
Yeah.
We had those hype or MLG-ish settings in alpha.
Yep.
And we were pumping it out like, yo, you guys need to test this, give us feedback, and do this and this and this. And nobody went to those damn playlists. And you want to know why? Is that the way they have their list propagated in order, like TDM is always on the top, so people always go to that shit. And then the event playlist and the community playlist is always down at the bottom or always hidden. Like, you got to hit something and then go to something else. That's how it was on Gears 3. They had, like, the DLC, and then that took you to another thing that had 4 different things that you could select from. So, you know, if they do a test playlist, that needs to be front and center. And people need to make sure that they understand what it is. I don't think that that's going to be easy because they got rid of that event calendar system. So they can't readily notify people. Maybe they can, and I just don't know. But they can't notify people like in-game, hey, test this out. Please go into the test playlist. They don't have that. So I don't know. I just feel like if they're going to put effort into that, I want to see people actually testing stuff. And I don't think they are. Think it'll be the same, like 200 people, like, oh, this is different. Let me go in here. And then half of those people won't even go into the forums or wherever they need to go to provide some feedback.
Yeah, well, what they have to do is, if this is actually getting put in, is that this has to be blasted all over their social media outlets. They got to put that all over their Facebooks, Twitters, post it on the community page of the website, post it in the forums. It's got to be put all over the place so that people know. I mean, when it happened with the Zeta and all that, that was just kind of thrown in. And then people were like, oh, look, it has no stopping power. Like, you didn't even know what it was at first. You know, you just kind of hopped in and you were like, oh, whoa, this doesn't have stopping power. And then it took me even like a couple days, and I was like, wait, did the active reloads not help the Lancer out? You know, it wasn't described very well. And not to mention, it was put in, we loved it, and then nothing was done with it.
Nothing was done with it.
And if you look at...
never mind. Gears Judgment was made.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You know, that was put out, and it was like almost the same thing. We just wanted these 2 changes from Gears 3, and it would have been so much better. It didn't happen.
We got a new game.
That's it.
We got a new game. Yeah.
Already gold.
Already gold.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say on that topic, but that's pretty much the crux of the whole test playlist thing. I would really like it to see it, but I just don't feel like people are gonna hop into it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and like I said, all these things they're talking about adding, it has to be added and soon. Not to mention content. I don't know what they can do to rush some maps and put them out. Literally drag them from 3 to Judgment, whatever has to be done. But we need maps now.
Yeah.
It's getting hard to play.
On the voting about like getting some old maps, bringing back in. I mean, do you even think that's something that will like really be helping us? Because I mean, the more DLC that we have, isn't that just going to be somewhat problematic on
as long as it's free? I don't care. And that's what it has to be at this point. It should be free.
Yeah, with it being free, it needs to also be accessible in one playlist. Like, well, not just one playlist. I mean, combine the playlist and make all the free DLC available in that playlist. Because once we do actually get the DLC, that's not like you can't. Like the only way you can play it is if you pay for it. That's gonna segregate the community anyway. But this free DLC that we have, that everyone should have. They have multiple playlists for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if we get flashback maps or whatever new maps that they have that will also be in there but free, it's not going to be beneficial if they don't have everything in one playlist.
Yeah, I know. Like if they actually go ahead and make like playlist sections for this and playlist sections for that and playlists for that.
Capital?
Capital? Oh yeah, I don't know. That's still being done. And I actually wanted to talk that up because an article was written recently about leaked DLC for the game, and I think if I could find it, I know Capital's on there. Yeah, there's Museum, Mausoleum, Dreadnought, Hospital, and Capital in that list of leaked DLC, and then there was a bunch of character skins and weapon skins that were leaked too. Now I don't know if that was modded stuff, but this article was just put up, I think it was a couple days ago. So I think this is recent that people got that stuff. And it's still an odd choice for me. If you think of like any maps you're going to bring back from Gears 1, you did Mausoleum?
Mausoleum?
Yeah,
I saw Rooftops on the list too.
Like Mausoleum? Like, that wasn't... It was alright, but...
Yeah,
like, why wouldn't you go... War Machine...
I mean, do any of y'all remember the like 45, 50-minute freaking Rooftop GB matches? You just sit there.
I love Rooftops, man. Hammer Dawn.
Oh, it's so long. So
yeah, I mean, this is a prequel.
I love how you say that with a straight face, Rob. You said it with the straightest face possible.
Because Season 1 GB, Gears Doubles finished first place, and Rooftops was my map every time. Hammer Dawn, I couldn't be stopped. Go ahead. 06 winter season, Gears of War 1 champions, 4v4 in doubles, Rooftops, see me.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
The most serious face.
I'm kidding, guys. Well, it's true, but I'm joking. That's the fact that Rooftops wasn't very good. But being that this is a prequel, we should, like I said, we should see more Gears 1 maps, man. They could bring them into the story in some way. It'd be cool.
The thing about it is that they even said that the Gears universe in multiplayer is completely unconnected to the story. Like, they made a statement, Jim Brown made a statement saying that, like, Alex Brand in the timeline of Gears, she would be, like, 15 right now. So her multiplayer character, it's completely out of the story. It doesn't even matter. Kim is in multiplayer, so they could put whatever they want.
Oh, that's in there too. They had, you know what? I'll just add that on the screen. I don't care. They had leaked character lists being shown too, and you guys look right here. There's Clayton Carmine, and a bunch of people that I didn't do the campaign yet. It looks like 2 different tie skins, and well, not that much more, but there's a few people added in this leaked DLC thing. I don't know how it was done. I didn't read the full article, but at least Clayton Carmine's there. A Carmine.
Yeah.
I don't know why Clayton out of all of them. Why not Anthony or Benjamin? But okay.
Yeah, no kidding. Anthony's been in every game until now. For now, anyways.
Yep. But yeah, I mean they showed some character leaks there, but still not that much. It looks like pretty much typical planned things. Just not released yet, but it's there already. One of those things where you pay to get what's already on the disc.
I'd like to see Clock Tower return, but with the wall going over into Boomshot. Oh, I missed that wall.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Oh, the hop.
Yeah, it just the hop
have-
over.
They had a sandbag.
Yeah, it was a sandbag with like a truck in the middle, car in the middle, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see Clock Tower. I actually want to see a different Clock Tower version of Clock Tower.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
I was talking about
I mean,
that.
we've only ever gotten the Gears 2 remake of War Machine, and it didn't even have the Troika on it. So if we get a remake of the actual Gears 1 War Machine, amazing, amazing. You'd be able to jump down from topside and everything.
Yep.
It'd be crazy.
Who is this? Stoddy. Okay, yeah. I don't know if you guys saw the video. I think Arctyc did. This guy Stoddy made a video showing issues with Nasher. And
A fishy Nasher.
yes, stuff
Fishy
showing how the
Nasher.
Nasher is supposed to be coming out of the middle screen, but sometimes it's actually coming out where the barrel is. And I'm gonna add him in here because he says he wants to talk about it. And of course, that's his picture. See if he's there. What's up, Stoddy?
Away from you.
So just let me mute the stream here. There you go.
Hello.
So yeah, the one thing I'm thinking is that they need to capitalize on this wish list. They need to prioritize like the first thing that they can possibly do. They need to do it and get it going, just to keep us interested. I don't know what you think about that, but they need to do something quick. That's what I think.
Yep. I mean, we all agree on that. We need stuff now. We can't really wait much longer. The numbers already dropping a ton. You know, game already dropped out of top 10.
Now, Stoddy, I wanted to ask you if maybe you noticed this. When I was watching your video, I noticed two things about how you were saying the shotgun came out of the barrel, and then sometimes it came out of the reticule. It seems, and I know you've all seen this, whenever you kind of point your gun at the wall, how you know how kind of the end of your gun can actually go into the wall?
Yeah.
It seems like when you do that, the bullets come out of the reticule. But it seems like if you actually pull off a little bit from the wall and you have the barrel aiming at the wall, then they come out of the barrel. So
Yeah, I think it's just
major
on
inconsistency.
Yep. That's something I never noticed either. I mean, and that would honestly explain a lot of the shots and issues I have in those point-blank fights. I know Rob had some of them when we were at that 2v2 where he was flanking a guy and lined up the reticle point-blank on a dude's back, and somehow the shot just completely missed. So that explains some
it's
things.
just different.
Yeah, because, I mean, I was
It makes
watching
me
that
not wanna
video.
trust it.
Yeah, I was watching that video, and, you know, you see some shots where he's got it lined up on the crosshair, and almost the whole spread hits the guy's body. You know, like maybe one pellet or two missed, so the guy didn't get chunked. Whatever. But then he did a next shot where the person was running real close, pretty much against the barrel, and chunked him, but the reticle was off to the side of the player. So it obviously was not coming out in the center of the screen because it would have completely missed.
Right.
So then I'm thinking, okay, well maybe it kind of comes out there, or the player was somehow blocking the process of the shot coming out the middle, didn't make it there yet. I don't know. So then he does the next part, tests exactly what I'm thinking, puts his guy completely against the wall, looking at it, barrel in the wall, and the shot hits directly in the reticle. So I saw that, and I was just like, I don't even know what to say. Like that's really just weird. It's like two different areas it comes out.
The only other thing I kind of thought about when I looked at the video is like left hand, right hand. Like some of his shots, he's coming from left, and like it seemed like left to what is that? Right to left. When you're going into cover, like on those corners, it seems like it's a little weird. And then right to left, because the gun is already on the right side, it seems like it lines up a little bit better. But I have no idea. It's really odd.
Yeah, I don't know. Stoddy,
Has Pete said anything about it?
no, he hasn't said anything. Stoddy, can you link the video? People want us to play it on stream for them.
Oh yeah. Give me a second.
Yep. Yeah, Pete hasn't said anything on it. I don't think anybody's really said anything on it, and I don't know. Maybe something they didn't even know, or just they haven't seen it somehow.
Haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's that because I don't see why they wouldn't comment on it and see what's wrong with it. Because I mean, from exactly what he put in the video, it looked like it was coming out of two separate spots. All right, let's see. Do it the ghetto way. Yeah, I'm gonna play the video for you guys so you can see it.
Well, hello everyone.
Oh,
It is me again, the best Gears player EU, and today I'm going to be experimenting.
The whole thing just broke. Let's try that again. Good old XSplit just derping out on me hard. Hold on. There we go.
You have to
Sorry. Black screen.
Skip it to 40 seconds. That's where I start showing different stuff.
40 seconds.
And you see this magical floating blood pellet. This one pellet. I don't understand it, to be honest. Like, what is that one pellet doing? That was the floating pellet bit.
Thanks YouTube for being useless and buffering it.
So yeah, Skyless's theory on the floating one pellet, because I've seen that multiple times, is that that is the origin of your shot,
to be honest.
so it doesn't have a chance to spread. I don't know why it doesn't happen more frequently, but you notice on a actually it happens quite a bit on one shots. You'll see that occur. Like you'll just get one pellet. So you think that's the origin of your shot before it actually has a chance to spread.
I clearly missed. I had that today, and the guy didn't die. Bit I purposely miss and get a kill. When I upload that tomorrow. Purposely missing and getting a kill. Just a
like that
floating
when you
pellet.
miss intentionally.
Yeah.
You put the reticle way above him and it just chunks him.
They don't, as you can see here.
This is where it comes out the gun.
I'm completely missing with the aim, but I'm still getting the kill. It's not red or anything.
Yeah, it's not even like you took your time, waited for the reticle to go there, and then shot.
Apparently, when you're on the
so that's the thing that's weird.
And there, I completely miss. Here is another complete miss and a kill because the bullets.
I mean, with the current status of the shotgun, would it be consistent if we got rid of the crosshair?
I don't know if I would even want to mess with it anymore.
Yeah,
the magic floating pellet again. Is in slow motion. Magic floating pellet. There it is.
Another pellet.
And on to the next bit is showing again that the bullets come out of the
gun. There it is, that one.
When you're on the wall.
Yep.
Yeah. That's there.
Like, what? Missing with the aim.
Yeah, it's like it comes out the barrel at times, but then other times it comes out in the center of the screen.
Yeah, it's the last part that you thought was crazy, where I just shoved it on the wall.
And it comes out. Is weird.
You should just jump to that.
Yeah, and that's that one. You see how the shotgun's like kind of in the wall right here.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, right here he just puts the gun in the wall and shoots, and it comes out dead center in the screen.
Yeah, I just thought it was really weird how
just because it's in the wall, it's like the game's having a hard time registering where the actual gun is or something.
Yeah, it's really like I don't even know what to say about that. That's something that.
I mean, did that happen in Gears 1? Was it like that in Gears 1?
I actually don't remember. I don't remember doing too many wall shots like that. Like when you shot in Gears 1, you didn't shoot from the wall. You popped off. Like you did a pull-off shot. It's more like a flick. I call it flick shots. So like you always like you wall bounce in, pull off, and shoot. And it was really good. Like you would have people. I remember specifically people would like hold you off by just wall bouncing, shooting, and then pulling off real quick, and they just do that over and over and over again. I mean, I really don't remember people shooting from cover too often.
Yeah, I mean, you still kind of had that, like, the occasional, like, L-trig shot if you knew they were going to drop, but it was always pull-offs and quick shots.
Yeah.
I mean, even the blind fire around cover didn't feel inconsistent in Gears 1. Like, I can't ever recall having a problem with the shotgun in Gears 1.
No, I never really did, aside from, like, inconsistent, like, damage. That was it. Just because of online lag in general, because GOW 1 had a lot of lag, depending on host. It was rough. You know, it was brutal. But that was it. I mean, on land, the game was great. Aside from,
So which did you guys prefer? Like, Gears 3 way or Gears Judgment?
Well, do you mean
I got
the
used
shotgun?
to Gears 2, Gears 3 out of the barrel. I mean, I don't know why they switched it back to center screen. It might have been to accommodate more of the rifle play, I guess, but I had no problem with it coming out of the barrel in Gears 3. I don't know why they did it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine in Gears 3. I kind of just, as much as I hate to say it, like Gears 3 shotgun, Gears 3 melee, like if we could just have that back, I feel like we would be fine.
Yeah.
Like the melee in Gears 3 wasn't, it wasn't useless. I still meleeed in Gears 3, but it wasn't broken.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't mind shots coming out of the center of the screen. I'm used to that from playing a lot of shooters on PC and everything in general. So center screen shooting, I'm a fan of, but this isn't obviously just center screen shooting. It's like a mix. It's like it comes out of the center of the screen at times, and then at times it comes out the barrel. And anything like that just adds more inconsistent features and messes up gameplay, and that explains a lot of things that were at times you're saying, hey, I had the crosshair dead on the guy, and it's completely missing. And that's apparently why, because sometimes it's actually coming out the barrel. And I don't know if that's happening because there's an issue of the way they tried to put it back in. You know, maybe they just tried to modify the way they had it in Gears 3 and it didn't work. And it's still trying to come out the barrel. I have no idea how it was done. All I know is that there's obviously a problem with it.
Weapon with the nuclear. Warheads for pellets. I think when he said he wanted the Gears of War 3 Nasher, he was just referring to the aiming, not the actual power. Because the thing that made it powerful was not the base damage, it was the actives.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we could have the same shotgun without the active multiplier, then, you know, we'd be golden.
There's a lot of different distance modifiers as well on the Gears 3 shotgun. Like, the Gears Judgment naturally will do damage all the way across the map. It'll do exactly the same damage.
Yep.
Whereas the Gears 3 one was, like, different distances.
Yeah, like falls off
have
at
a
some point and just doesn't do anything.
Damage fall off, yeah.
Yeah, I think now I wanted to start talking about some tournaments going on. I know we have some people that want to hop in, just kind of show off their tournaments that are about to be held. So thank you, Stoddy and Crashy, for stopping in.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get some more people in here in a little bit if we have time, but we're trying to keep tonight's episode short. So now...
All right.
Huh?
Cat's freaking out. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, so now we're going to bring in Prodigy, because he wants to talk about the games league he has going on, all tournaments he has planned for Gears of War Judgment. So I know a lot of you guys don't like him, but he's still trying to do stuff for Gears, so you can't hate him. You know, he's trying to help you guys out. You guys want stuff to play for. He's making tournaments happen. So, going to bring him in here now. See if he's there.
All right, you guys take it easy, and remember, the grind is real. So, be ready for that. Take it easy, Kenny.
Thanks, Stott.
Yeah, y'all have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Stott. See
See
you
you in the chat.
Robert Paz wants to show video. I accept.
Video.
He's a celebrity. Go see Noob's movie.
Can you guys see me? We're good.
Yep, we see you.
It's a bit dark, right? My fault. I don't have much lighting on my side. But CrReam, thank you for letting me jump on board on this. This is awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
And it's kind of surprising because I didn't know this was like all these interesting facts coming from with the shotty stuff, and just all these little interesting stuff that's kind of like making the game a bit unbalanced. This is new to me because I've been working on making a league for you guys, so it's a little scary. But try to bring some spotlight and some positive outlook on this because most of you know I've been working with games, and I've been talking to them about just creating a gaming league in general because they're able to do that, and we have a lot of connections and whatnot with Microsoft and other companies. So a few months ago we had a ton of meetings, and I mean like a ton of meetings left day and night on just trying to make something happen for Gears of War. I'm a big fan of Gears since Gears 1, and I truly believe that Gears has always been a true entertainment video game. Like I can literally just play Gears of War and people will just be watching in general who are just non-gamers at all. They just love it. It's just something that's easy to watch and it's entertaining. And so just by that, I want this whole competitive scene to happen. And talking with games and making things happen, we finally created a league which is called Cyberbowl. And we just launched our site last week. And a lot of the Gears players are signing up. We have up to 200, I believe, gamers that are signing up. They're just Gears players. And I believe we have 31 teams that signed up for our 4v4 Gears of War ladder matches that we're doing. Now, the thing that we're trying to do a bit differently from other leagues out there, like GB and things like that, it kind of looks like Games Battle, but besides running ladders and throwing in some real big prizes, big money and whatnot, because we have all these companies getting involved, we're locking them down They're not just sponsors. We're literally going to want them to lock them down. And we have companies like Microsoft and other companies we cannot name just yet. We even also have celebrities that you guys didn't know about this, but there's celebrities out there that want to create their own gaming league, and they found out about Cyberball, so we have them on board as well. So I mean, they just have numbers, so and they're able to spread the word out, and they can just pitch in general. Um, so the idea for this league, I want to give gamers spotlights, and I know that we have top players. We give them the spotlight. You know, MLG and other leagues out there. They give 5 or 6 team spotlights, and that's about it. I like the idea of anyone who has talent in general, and they showcase it through a match against this team and that team. When we stream it on Games Live from the Cyber Bowl ladders, I want to do a complete recap and get them on board next day, because we have our own live stream show every Monday, and we're gonna run Cyber Bowl recaps and get them on board and get them on Skype and just give them the spotlight. I think gamers who have talent should have that spotlight, should be stars, and that's something that we're gonna do. We're gonna have videos on demand. We're gonna have a ton of we're gonna give gamers opportunities to have that spotlight, to get their shine and promote as many gamers, not just 5 or 10, but like literally as much, like up to, if there's a 64-man team, up to at least 50, because there's a lot of gamers with great personality and they want to get inspired. And if you inspire gamers from like someone watching a Gears of War tournament, they'd be like, wow, I want that spotlight. I want to be out there. I want to compete. You know, that's the idea. So for me to do that and to give gamers the opportunity, I'm gonna work day and night off of that, which is why Cyberball was created. So we're starting out with 4v4 execution Dom. We've been working with Fatal. He's been doing really well. Obviously, you guys already know who he is, and he's been doing really well with the settings and whatnot. And so we have the hype settings, and like I said, this is actually not a counter to Hyperstation. We're actually, let's just say this, Cyberball and Hyperstation are going to be buddy-buddy. So we're going to be promoting them and just make that whole competitive gear scene happen. So we will have like the best settings, and you know, when the game is updated to like a better version of it, we will keep in check for that as well. We are pushing Overrun, because I know I've talked to Cliffy when he was with Epic at the time, and a couple of Epic devs. They want to push Overrun. Overrun was built for that competitive scene. They want to see the championship of Overrun and things like that. So we are going to push Overrun just as much as 4v4. And it's going to be even out. None of them are going to be better than the other. But we're just going to push out. We're going to see what happens. Honestly, we want to get to that. It's kind of hard to see in the beginning, because like I saw the Call of Duty championship, and it will probably take a long while to get to that road for Gears. But I can tell you right now, with the meetings I've had with Microsoft and other companies, they're willing to make something like that happen if you guys continue to support the game. And it's all about work. Like, I like the fact that you have this type of show and you're working with other gamers and getting their feedback, and that's really good. I see more negatives than more positive, which scares me, because it's like gamers would rather just step away from the game rather than just wanting to. I mean, they still play it, but they're not, they're not putting so much effort into it. Like, we just need more of that. If anything, I need to see more of that, so I'm able to show these companies or show viewers that, this game, it has a lot of numbers, and we're able to bring that amount of just viewers in general, and there's a lot of support that's coming from the community itself, just to make things happen. So if we have that support from the Gears players and the casual Gears players, because they're gonna watch the top best team going against each other, that can happen, because we're just starting ladder matches, and it ends on May 15, and whoever's first place in the ladder is going to get $1,000, and they're going to get hooked up with Vanguards, Gunner Optics, and same thing with the 4v4 execution. They're just getting $800. hooking up with Vanguards. It's like over $1,000 in prizes, and that's just the start. So from there, we just want to see how that goes, and from there, we're just gonna make it bigger. It's just gonna go bigger from there. So throughout the summer, we're gonna see how that goes, and like I said, the more support we see, and the more with you guys, your guys are already on board with taking over the settings and working with Epic Games, and we're gonna update and just make all this happen. So
Okay, so I mean, what tournaments and stuff do you guys have rolling out right now? And you have a link you could drop in the chat so people can check it out.
oh, so let me so I just dropped a link on the chat.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
post in the chat there. Yeah.
I dropped the Cyber Bowl link.
Yeah, so we just like I said, we launched last week, and a lot of teams are just signing up and whatnot. There you go. I'm just linking that up. And the idea for Games Live, which is a new channel that I'm streaming on, we every Monday we have an actual show that's from 12 to 4, and we want to well, during the week from Monday to Friday, I want to start. I'll bring in casters like Kenny or Fatal or anyone who's casting in the Gears community. They can jump on board and cast these matches. That's going on in the Cyber Bowl ladders and whatnot, or the tournaments, and we'll do a big recap, kind of like ESPN Sports style type of thing. So that's, like I said, we're gonna put a lot of effort into the whole competitive scene, and give gamers spotlight, and just make things happen for them.
Awesome.
Are you just gonna focus on Judgment? Are you thinking about Gears 3 as well?
It depends. Well, like I said, we want Gears on the league in general. So like I said, I did not know all this stuff was happening, like with you guys and on just the whole balancing. But I do know that through on the Twitter feed, I see Rack and Fatal are just constantly working with each other, and feedbacks are coming in, which is fantastic. So I know something's happening, and I know you guys are making things happen in general for the game, for it to be better, balance-wise and whatnot. And I've been talking to Rack on just creating events in general for Gears. So if there's like a situation where we have to jump into Gears 3, if it's just a better game at the time, then yeah, we can definitely consider that, because we can definitely make that happen. It's just depend on, like right now we're running Judgment, and then we'll see that from there. And then after that, like I can even talk to you guys, because you guys are the main source of the Gears hub or the community in general. So definitely, I'm sure I'll get answers from everyone. Gears of War 3 should be on for now until Judgment, it gets better from whatever it is.
Okay.
Cool.
Sure.
Thank you, Rob.
So
I've always appreciated your dedication to the community, and Games is a great product. Like one thing that was just bothering me from what you said, and this has nothing to do with you. It's confusing to me, because it's like you mentioned that you're kind of worried about the current state of players, as am I, and it's like it's up to us to keep playing, and it's up to us to keep putting our time in. But I don't think that's where the blame is right now. And you mentioned Microsoft is like, they want to have something like COD XP. They want that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't think that they want that. I mean, obviously, if they want that, they need to write a big check to Epic and say, make this game so it can be played like that. I mean, I don't think it's up to us. Like, I speak for most of the players right now that like, I can only put up with this game the way it is for very little more time. So like, it's not fair to the players to be like, if you guys, you just have to start playing so they can prove that it's worth it. I mean, if they want it to be worth it, they have to prove to us that it's worth it. So I just feel like it's kind of the opposite from that relationship.
I totally see what you mean there. I guess it's not like I'm saying. I guess I'm gonna reword it a bit, because it's not really blaming you guys. I in general is the best thing I can say is support is with me in general. Okay, from my point of view on Gears, I'm not much of a complainer. Like, I play Gears. I like the fact that it's changing. I don't want to buy the same game over and over again like what Call of Duty is. But this is just my opinion. I think Gears of War Judgment is is good for its own part. There's certain things that I'm not like fond of, like the whole stim grenades or whatever. But you know, as far as just complaining or looking into detail of the game, there wasn't much to complain about. I like changes in general. That's all. But I'm definitely open on seeing that the game could be better. Of course, not a problem. And I like the fact that you have shows like Active Reload that can talk to the viewers and getting feedback and just getting the word out. This is something where Epic can look at and be like, hey, we have some ideas for your game. Take a look at it. Simple as that. And it's up to them if they want it or not, or if they're able to, or they can't because the certain companies are not allowing them, then, you know, what else can you do? So I apologize if it's the whole, if you guys took it as like blaming support this game. No, of course not. If you guys are not liking anything in general, you don't like it. Obviously, it's nothing to force. I guess the best way is, if you're a Gears of War fan, like a fanatic, like if you're a fan of the game, because of what it is, that's where kind of have that heart of like your heart into the game, and support. Don't I said, like, for me to have Cyberball happen for Gears, it's just I just need to see results in support.
Oh yeah,
because I know that's just in general.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have Barbosa trying to do hyperstation, getting all this going, and then you have you guys working with Active Reload and getting feedbacks from players in general. I see something happening here. So it's like, on my part, I just want that shows support already, to be honest. So I'm just saying I'm nervous about the support situation because there's a lot of few things that are not making the game seem as accurate as the way it should be. I'm just like a little nervous about that because I want this to happen. I want Gears to be where Call of Duty is. Simple as that. Like real talk.
Yeah, we talked about that in the beginning of the show. I mean, the numbers are just scary right now. Like we already said, game dropped out of the top 10 already. It's 12th in most games played on Xbox, behind 3 Call of Duties and 2 Halos. That's scary. But, maybe Epic makes these fixes and people come back. That's all we can do is wait right now. That's all there is to it. But, I mean, we definitely appreciate everything you do, bringing this league together and trying to give people more to play for, because that's what a lot of people are waiting for right now. They're saying they're not playing because there's nothing to play for, at least on the competitive side.
Cyberball is the real deal. I had the privilege of competing in I guess, the first official Cyberball, and Robert Paz was putting that together. And Rob, you do things with the game that most people don't think of, and you make it really exciting. In terms of how you introduce the players of that first Cyberball with like the national anthem and really trying to bring it to heart and to more viewers and things. So again, the prizes are real. Cyberball is a real deal. My team is already signed up on the site. So
the national anthem you're talking about?
Oh yeah. I was just saying how the production of the first one and just what you bring to it. It's awesome, and I appreciate what you do for the community. So again, Cyberball is a real deal, and you guys got to get signed up on there.
The idea was just to make like a stadium-like look to Gears of War, and it was only perfect for Thrashball. But yeah, like I said, for our games live show, it's a recap, ESPN Sports sports style. It's just I'm trying to make Gears like the way Call of Duty is. It's just it's gonna be really difficult, but I'm gonna try my best to make it happen, and hopefully, with the whole situation on the balancing and whatnot, hopefully that gets going, because a lot of these Gears players are very strict on it, from what I've noticed, and so I'll make sure we are on board with that, and I'll keep up to date with you guys on anything else that we're providing when it comes to tournaments, because after May 15, we're going to continue with Judgment, and then if you guys want to switch to Gears of War 3, if that's the case, then yeah, I'll work with you guys on that. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for getting this all together, man. Thanks for hopping on here, announcing it, and, now you guys complaining you got nothing to play for, now you got something to hope for, so get on that side, sign up for the tournaments, get everything going.
Alright, guys. Yeah, definitely. Take it easy, and thank you again, Kenny.
Yeah, no problem. See you, Rob.
Yeah, later, Prodigy.
See ya.
Later, guys.
All right, guys. Yeah, now I have another tournament to announce right now. It's the Frag Nation tournament that I coordinated with them. It's 4v4. Let me get the link for you real quick. 4v4, obviously. I made my own settings for it. Here's a link if you guys want to go on there, sign up. Obviously, it's CrReam's GOWJ Judgment tourney. It's just
CrReam settings involve boom shields on every respawn, guys. Just to let you know.
Yeah, it's just a generic tournament name for now, but it's free to enter. Free to enter, so nothing to worry about there. Settings for it, though, as far as I have, and they are on the site, is I have just Streets and Haven. There's no other maps being used. There's 2 TDM, 2 Execution, 2 Domination, because I don't see a reason to use any other maps because they're not that great as is. You know, you really have to force them. And I want to see TDM played out. I don't know why people aren't taking TDM serious. You know, at least try it out, see what happens. So this tournament's free to enter. You guys got a chance to try it out and see how it plays. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You didn't pay to play in it anyway. Why not? So I have all rifles being allowed in it. The only things banned are inks and stims for domination, because the ink grenade, it lasts like 10 seconds now.
So
it holds off a hill for a crazy long time, and it needs to be dropped down a little bit. It really does. It sucks. I don't want to do it, but it sucks for domination. It does. I was talking with Fatal about it, and that's one thing I was like, okay, that makes sense, because the ink, it lasts a really long time. And it takes so long to break and cap hills as is right now. So you throw an ink in there, and you can hold off an ink by yourself. I mean, hold off a hill by yourself with 3 people trying to get it almost. Till people
Just run
show
a
up.
stim if they're running inks, man.
I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But the stim doesn't last as long. It lasts like half the time or less. Yeah.
Anyway, well, the stim should be 10 seconds then, so to balance it in.
Right. All right, that
would work
completely make people happy.
Yeah, that'd work great. My street swap's simple, really. I have Bushka over at Breach Shot, putting it out in the open and making it similar to Clock Tower. You got to make a run for it out in the open and risk it. I have Breach Shot in the Boom Shield room. Digger's still there, and I turn the Bushka and Torque Bow into Nashers. So rifle players are allowed to then pick up a Nasher and have something to defend themselves in close range instead of trying to cheese with the melee. Because any Gal player from Instinct, if they get a Nasher, they're going to switch to it. So it'll play out better. And Streets, I have a Torque Bow Boom Shield. I put the long shot over at Bushka. So you have a snipe fight looking over Torque, kind of similar to Canals. And I changed the Torque Bow, and it's the Hammer of Dawn and Nashers. Nasher pickups, and the Incense is a Boom Shield. I originally had a Digger there trying it out, but it didn't work out too great. It was just too much for Streets, too tiny. But those are the swaps for it, guys. Get on that. I'll link it again in the chat. Please get in there, sign up, get it going, because they are willing to do more tournaments if you guys show up. And tournaments for decent prize money for the next ones if you guys show up. Right now, it's just kind of for equipment and such from Steel Series and Elgato, but it's still worth it. So sign up, get it going. You want more to play for, this is how you do it.
Be nice. That's good to be nice.
Yep.
Do they have anyone commentating? Are you doing?
Yeah, I'll be doing the commentating and all that. I'm running pretty much the whole tournament, so I'll definitely be commentating that and running it. Also, there is the... I know, yeah, there's the one-man Army free-for-all tournament going on this Saturday to Sunday. Probably going to be just Saturday, but there's a flyer for it. If you guys want to go to it, sign up. It's $15 a player, free-for-all. First place, you get Astro A40s. Second, Genius Mod Controller. Third, 4,000 Microsoft points. And fourth gets you 1,600. So, if you guys want to hop on there, get some free-for-all stuff going, finally get competitive free-for-all, see how it plays out. Do it up. There it is. And I think next, I know Immortal had Hectic. He wanted to come in and talk about the
Grind Esports.
The Grind Esports, yeah.
Let's talk about the grind. All right, yeah. Hectic, you're available. I add you to call now.
Been holding my tongue. That's all I'm going to say.
I know.
Yo, what up, guys?
Hi.
What up?
Nothing. Chilling. Excited to talk about this big project coming up.
Yeah, so I'm sure not everyone has heard about the grind. So why don't you try to sum that up for us in a few
Okay.
sentences, and then elaborate as many sentences as you want.
All right, well, there's a lot to talk about. So let me start with the first tournament, which is May 4th and 5th. It's like the website release tournament, kind of celebrating our launch. And it's going to be 4,000 Microsoft points per player for first place. And it's, it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. And that's like the first thing that we have right off the bat. And then after that, our website's going to come out. And that's where things get interesting. That's where, we have a lot of really, really big stuff in store for the Gears of War community. So basically, it's a big community project, and we're going to have tournaments once a month. Every month, we're going to have tournaments, and I can show you screens of the site, too. It looks amazing. But basically, it's going to be seeded. So there's going to be a league-type system. Don't get it twisted with the Call of Duty system. It's going to be seeded every month, going to carry over month to month to month to month. There's always going to be money to play for. There's always going to be stuff to do. And that's just like the first step. So you want me to go through this whole project and just, you can ask questions after, or do you want me to just...
It looks like if you had...
I got a lot to talk about, man.
Just the project, the grind in general.
Okay.
What's your mission statement? Could you just let us know what your mission statement is? How this came about?
Okay. Basically, we want to get more competitive players in Gears of War, because we all know that Judgment is a pretty small game compared to Gears 3, 2, and 1. In Gears of War 3, if we would have had 1% growth in the competitive community, that would have been like, what, 200, 500 players? Now, 1% growth into the competitive community would be like 100 players. So the goal of this is, you can liken it to GOW Nation 2.0, which is interesting because we actually have Phoenix on board with this project as well. So that's the mission statement, man. We want to get as many players involved with Gears of War as possible. Now, the way we're going to do that is we're going to have articles, we're going to have videos with, big YouTubers putting out tips and tricks to get more players involved. We really just want to make the competitive scene seem friendly to people. We want to get more people involved because, we want to make Gears of War, the game that it should be competitively. And yeah, it's a small game, but, we think that, we can do it. And the great thing about this is that if we succeed in what we're trying to do, every tournament organizer wins. Everyone wins. G-Con, Hyperstation, games, everyone. So if we get more players in, everyone gets higher turnout. We have a big content staff. We've got, I can list some of them off right here. We've got Crashies, who was on board earlier. We got Brutality, Phoenix, Fallout's probably going to be on board as well. We've got all sorts of stuff, man. The stream production is going to be off the wall. It's going to be crazy. The blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into this project for the past 3 months has been unreal. It's been unreal.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you can ask questions. I can go a lot more in depth with it. I know you guys, pressed on time. Or do you want me to keep going? I can keep going, man.
Oh, yeah. If you want to just touch base on a little bit more, we're trying not to go too long tonight,
Of course. So yeah, as I said, tournaments are going to be once a month. It's going to be seeded, and the stream production, it's going to be kind of similar to MLG, where when MLG streams a tournament and the homepage flips to a stream page, it's going to be very similar to that. So, that way you can go on the site. You don't have to have 80 tabs open, going in 20 different chats. You can just go on the homepage, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. It's up there. It's going to be cool, man. Hopefully we can get, interviews with the developers. We're definitely going to have interviews with all sorts of top players / community figureheads. Maybe one of you guys. We're going to have podcasts, articles, videos. We've got a whole content staff arranged for this. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting.
Awesome. Do you have a link that you posted in the chat that we can see, or do anything for it?
Yes. Let me Typographic is in the chat as well, and he's gonna be posting up some links. But I can also post up. So here's the homepage. Let me actually, I closed out of the screen. Twitch.tv/. Okay. So I can link to the homepage, and you guys can check this out. That's the homepage right there. I just posted that up. That's a little older version. You'll see at the bottom we had diehards on board in the beginning of the project, and he had to leave because he had all sorts of crazy, life stuff going on. We've all been there, but that's what the homepage looks like, and the webpage is done. The site is literally finished. We're a week ahead of schedule in terms of content. We also have a top 5 plays video that we're gonna play hopefully once a week, depending on the submissions that we get. Might be once every 2 weeks. It really just depends how many video submissions we get. Yeah, the stream productions can be crazy. Articles, videos, tips and tricks, tournaments once a month, so there's always gonna be something to play for. And on top of that, one thing that I haven't really touched on is that I think you guys can all kind of agree with me on this. In the beginning of Gears of War 3, we had Gears Up, G-Con, and GOW Nation. Yeah? And they never... I know that there were always plans for them to kind of work together, but they never really like brought it home. They never really collaborated with each other. And I truly feel if they would have all like partnered up and done something big, Gears of War 3 would have been on a whole different pedestal. It would have been huge. And so our philosophy is that instead of trying to compete with all these other leagues and tournaments and all that stuff, we want to cross promote. We want to, if G-Con's holding an event, we'll write up an article, we'll post it up on the site. If Hypestation's doing something, we want to help them out as well. We want to help everyone out. We just want to see the community thrive and succeed. That's it. I mean, and just in terms of like my motivation to get this project done, I'm getting a degree in entrepreneurship. I've been competing since 2007. Like, my heart's in the Gears of War community. It's nothing to do with egos, nothing to do with getting my name out there. Everyone on board with this project, we have 4 people that are like the head of this project. It's me, Emily, Jay, and Typo, who's in the chat. And, they've been grinding their asses off to get this done as well. And we have about 10 to 12 staff, and they've been amazing as well. So it's just, we have so much stuff that we want to bring to the Gears of War community. And we just want to see it get big, man. Like, we want it to be big so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people want everything to work out right now. We really do. It's just we're hoping that the players don't fall off, so that all these efforts aren't for nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but it's nice to see the developers like really trying to work with everyone. I just wish it would have been a little sooner, but it is what it is. You work with the tools that you're given, and you see where we land up. But I mean, that's it in a nutshell. We're gonna have forums. I mean, this could very well become a hub for Gears of War. Again, not trying to oust anyone out. It's just, we really feel like this has great potential, and this should help everyone. More people in the competitive scene, the better, man.
How long term do you foresee this? I should ask this to Prodigy as well, but do you guys have like a time frame?
Yep.
That you guys have this like projected? Is it a year? Is it 6 months? Is it how long is it?
I mean, really, it's not like, because it's the grind esports. We're eventually gonna expand on to other games like Call of Duty, Halo. But that doesn't mean that we're gonna like leave Gears of War in the dust. It would really just be we keep to our roots. We keep supporting Gears of War. We keep pumping out tournaments, content, articles, tips and tricks videos, getting people on board. And then we get more staff, more people, and expand into Call of Duty as well. So it's not like we're ever going to leave Gears of War. I mean, if the game dies and there's 0 people on the game, I mean, yeah, it'd be pointless. But that's not going to happen. So as long as there's people playing, man, we're in the scene. And that's it. And our content schedule, like we have a schedule, and I mean this will work, for a year down the road, and it's always being tweaked and updated. So all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, actually, Hitman, good question in the chat. I hate the guy sometimes because he's a troll, but it's a good question.
Good,
what separates your vision from other currently existing GOW community websites, and how would you like to see it expand?
Okay, well, here's the thing. G-Con, like, it has a little bit of everything. So, like, G-Con, they're partnered up with MLG and GB, so they have, game battles. Same thing. Games is kind of in that same arena, and they're also bringing a spotlight to the competitive community. Our job is growth. So we want to bring the casuals into the competitive community. So people like games can give, more competitive player spotlights. So more people are playing on game battles. So think about the grind as a bridge from the ranked scene to the competitive scene, and that's the goal. And it's and that's really in essence what it is.
Have you guys targeted any specific casual? I don't even know if there's any such thing. What is a
Yes.
casual site for the game?
The Epic Game forums, man. GOW forum.
That's
Nash's.
a scary place.
Nash's.
I really don't consider anyone on forums to be casual, to be honest. But I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? That was the wrong terminology. Like the Epic Game community. That's always a weird term, competitive versus ranked players. That's always like a touchy subject. But we've got Nash's on board, who's really big within the Gears of War, Epic community. He runs like the Reaper Tracker. He's on board with this. He's helping us out. Brutality's helping us out. We've got one with Valor or Abram. He's another big YouTuber. We got so many people. I could list them off, but we also have like some veterans on the team as well. Phoenix, who ran GOW Nation. Diehards, who ran GOW Nation as well, came up with our content schedule, and Phoenix is going to help us out as well. So, and the way we run it, like although like I'm on here talking, I'm not like the boss or the head or anything like that. It's much more of a democracy. So there's like 4 people that run it, and we vote, and we make changes as needed. I'm pretty much the spokesperson at the moment, but that's just the way we do things. I can't stress it enough, man. It's for the community. We want to see the game get bigger, man.
Yep. Yeah, no, of course. We all want to see the game get better. I mean, just, thanks for your efforts. I really hope it all works out. I do.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing that can happen is we release and everyone tweets it out. Everyone, pushes it out, and there's a big community effort. I mean, of course, our marketing plan is going to be on point. We're going to be telling everyone to tweet it out, and hopefully they do, and we're going to put our cards on the table and then see where we fall.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, thanks for hopping on, letting everybody know about it, man. Really appreciate it.
Could I mention one thing that's aside from tournaments?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're doing a Grind for Boston charity event on Saturday. It's going to be a 24-hour stream, and we're going to be trying to raise money for the victims in Boston. And the way it works is for every 3 to 5 viewers, that's not ironed out yet. It'll probably be 5, but for every 5 viewers, we donate $1. On top of that, to, bring more people in, we're going to have an FFA tournament. And it's going to be $1 buy-in. You can donate as much as you want, but all of the buy-ins go to the charity as well. This all goes straight to the victims of Boston. We don't benefit at all. And we're just going to be playing Gears of War. Maybe playing a little bit of poker, chilling out, having a good time. I hope you guys join us. It will be on twitch.tv/thegrindesports. Let's post that in the chat. That's going to be on Saturday. 24 hours of Gears, good time, and raising money for the victims of Boston. And we have tons of giveaways who are provided by Jin. His Twitter's Jin Elvin. Like the winner of the FFA tournament gets 4,000 Microsoft points. So it's like, hey, if you want $50 of Microsoft points, donate $1. Donate $50 if you want. And, hop on board for a good cause. And the more people that tune in, the more money that, comes out of my pocket to go to a great cause. I'm going to be donating no matter what.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I hope everybody tunes in and everybody donates. I mean, obviously nobody liked what happened recently in Boston. It was a terrible thing.
Awful.
But, yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, but I mean, thanks for hopping on, man, letting us know all about it. Hope it works out for you.
Yeah, and thank you for having me on. Much appreciated. I'm going to post the link to our website relaunch tournament, and, I will be on my way.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks,
man.
Elliot.
See you. All right. I don't know what else you guys really had to talk about tonight. I mean, we went longer than I had already wanted to, like every week. But, if you guys have anything else to touch base on, not sure if you do.
Let me look real quick. Let me look.
Okay,
Oh
so
yeah,
the
also
search is
guys, oh my god,
next
thank God
topic.
somebody, yeah, AGL Tyler in the chat, guys. Yeah, feel
Oh,
free to
right,
link
right.
it up. Completely forgot. AGL is looking to do some Gears of War stuff. They're going to look into doing some Gears of War online tournaments at first, and then maybe push for an actual live LAN event. So if you guys want that to be happening, follow what Tyler's saying in the chat right now. Not even that. Tweet at him and tweet, hashtag Gal for AGL, and just let them know that you guys want it to happen. Because that's what they want. They want to make sure the players are there. So they're making sure that everybody's there and wants to compete. So that's worth hosting an online tournament for.
You guys are some fools. I just got the funniest fucking message.
What?
Do share.
I can't say it right now.
Alright. Do you guys have anything else to touch base on that, or are we just going to close it out?
Really, really is for me is just I really hope we see an update by the end of next week.
Me too.
Some tease tweets, and it needs to happen. There's really nothing else to say. It needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean we really can't afford to wait any longer. That's the thing.
Nope.
I'm sure you guys probably know. I'm sorry, chat.
You're not sorry.
Oh man. Okay, so I can't find. There's someone that had this really good topic. I'm looking through it really quick to see if I can find it. That they sent me that they wanted. Oh, there's two things. Okay, someone tweeted me. I think it was Lee J on Twitter that asked about the possibility of switching around Melee. And, I've been getting random tweets to bring up topics. And so she made this suggestion. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but you can only Melee if you run out of ammo. So the only time you can Melee is like, let's say you have a Lancer, you clean your clip, and then at the end of that clip, that's when you can Melee. So that was an idea that was proposed, or just completely taken out Melee. I think that was where she was pretty much going with that. But I don't know how you guys feel about that. I said it would be pretty weird, but that's something I got. And then if I find this one, it was really good. No. Oh. No, that's not it. I think we talked about that one. That was the armor skins. Someone asked me about armor skins, and Jim said a couple weeks ago, might have been a couple weeks ago, or it might have been recently, that one of the reasons that the armor skins were taken out was because of, or the locusts were taken out was because of the armor skins. And then previously, before that, they were talking about hitboxes and consistency and something else along those lines. So they kind of tripped up and then switched it up a little bit about the reasoning. So that was something, but I'm pretty sure we touched on that.
Locusts have no fashion sense.
Hold on. I can't find it. I have to scroll through too many things. So what I'll do is maybe next week I'll take some of these down, because I didn't at all remember it, and I thought I was going to. Damn it. Oh well. I got a funny comment though. I tweeted it out. So I gave some advice on a video about dealing with people that rush you, and I was, just basically saying, if you have an ink, throw down an ink and the path of the, the person that's advancing on you. And this comment from a guy named Havoc says, "Can't believe you are giving noob advice, Arctic. Ink and the Lancer. That's proper noob, dude. Nasher, Nasher, Nasher. This is a Nasher game. Lancer gameplay is just ugly. That's why you never see it in a montage or any random clips."
What game is he watching? You're just trolling us now.
I swear to God, this is what this dude said. He was dead ass serious. So that's all I got this week. I'm going to find that, and then I'll talk about it next week.
Great.
And then after the show, I'm going to share with you guys the funniness.
All right.
I'm
Well, if
looking forward to it.
you guys wanted to do your little sign-offs, hop out of here. Stream already went later than we wanted to, so let's close
All
this
right.
out.
Let's give a shout out to Razer. Hey, listen, I'm getting the Razer Fight arcade stick.
Ooh.
Yeah, you
What
guys
those
know
look
why,
like?
right? There might be a link somewhere I can
Injustice?
pull up for image. Yeah, for Injustice. Yes, yes, sir. So
found them.
shout out to Razer for hooking me up with that, and my teammates, Skyless, all the boys, you guys, Kenny for hosting this show, having me on. The guys in the chat for trying to break my serious face, succeeded, and then sent me funny ass messages afterwards. Succeeded even more. I'm really enjoying the show. I'm really enjoying talking about Gears, and I'm just hopeful that more people continue, whether it be Gears 3, Gears Judgment, whatever. Just continue to support the Gears of War community and making the game special.
Everything that you said, KL. My desk is covered with Razer products, so shout out to them. Shout out to my team, Raw Talent. Zero Excel, man, you're always down to scrim, but NJ Cubano's always working, and Void's playing Gears of War 1 because we're not online. And then I'm playing StarCraft and some other games, and nobody watches me play those games. So shout out to my viewers for watching me play Gears. Really enjoying this. I had a free-for-all tactics video, whiteboard ready to go. I'm going to drop that on YouTube this week, guys. This video will really be beneficial to any free-for-all game, not just Gears. Just general tips and tactics for any free-for-all game, whether it be GoldenEye to Rainbow Six to Halo to Gears. All these general tactics all apply. So I'm gonna drop that video soon. /Immortal Spawn YouTube, and thanks for guys for tuning. See you next week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We tried to keep it short this week, but again, still went an hour and a half. I know it went from like 9 to 9:50 out of nowhere, but still kept it shorter than last week. We'll see you guys again next week. Hopefully, we'll be talking about how Epic made a bunch of changes or announced that they're making changes. I pray to Alien Jesus that this happens.
All praise Alien Jesus.
Yeah, and I hope you guys all know about that skit and what we went through last week after I got off the show. I mean, that's gold. That's gold. If you haven't watched it, you know what? Let me get the link for people. Screw it. I don't care. If you haven't seen this, you need to see it. It's that. It's probably it's the greatest thing I've ever experienced.
You need to contact this person and let him know what's happened.
No. He's
generated an icon.
He started hitting me up a lot, and it got real creepy.
No
anybody in the chat, they colored. Anybody, we got any coloreds in the chat, in the stream? We got any coloreds out there? Any African Americans? We got any coloreds?
I said I was, and he went with it.
I missed that part.
Oh my god, that dude said that, and I
must have watched 2 hours of the 3 hours. Missed that one.
It was so
I
good.
Was dying. We got any coloreds out there? We have any coloreds out there in the stream, in the chat, and watching? It's like coloreds, really? That dude is from the deep south.
He said he was from New Hampshire.
No, he is not from New Hampshire. That dude had an Alabama, KKK accent, and he had somebody in the background like Bobby Joe or something like that, telling him like, "Yeah, you tell him, you preach."
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week, and hopefully things pick up from here. Good night.
Night, guys. Hi, Council.